Hello, this is going to be like an entire masterclass on quantum energetics, energy patterns. We just finished Quantum October and it was freaking mind-blowingly amazing. Like the kinds of things, the kind of breakthroughs people had, the things that were manifested. A $300,000 condo was manifested during Quantum October. So many breakthroughs. It was like, oh my God, it felt so electric, so incredible. I absolutely loved the community aspect of it as well. And so many truth bombs were dropped. So what I am doing in this video is I'm giving you like a rundown of a few of the most critical points when it comes to quantum shifting, when it comes to energy that was given inside of Quantum October, almost like a summary. Right, a graduation summary. And so Quantum October is officially done. It is officially closed. But if you want the lifetime access to the recordings and everything like that, you can still get access to that. And I will leave that link below. But let me start with saying that you are the creator of your reality. Now, you hear that all the time. I'm the creator of my reality. I'm creating, really? Why am I creating that? Okay. You are creating this experience. You are literally like, your energy, your unconscious energy, like within you, is creating your physical experience of this reality. You are like the three-dimensional reality. It's like an extremely elaborate, incredibly convincing, amazing projection hologram. Okay, so your energy, the unconscious energy that you are holding in your field, is literally projecting your current three-dimensional reality. Now, you might be like, okay, that sucks or whatever. I don't know, or maybe that's great or whatever. But here's what you need to understand is that this is actually incredibly empowering because you actually have the power to change your energy. And I'm not talking with your thoughts. I'm not talking with your mind. I'm not talking with your like affirmations. Yes, that helps you, stay positive and it helps you like from spiraling into downward spirals 100%. But I want to explain something to you that's very, very important if you actually genuinely want to create an actual quantum shift. Okay? So your energy right now, your unconscious energy, okay, that you are projecting out, whether you realize it or not, whether you're sleeping or picking your nose or flossing your teeth or whatever, is creating your three-dimensional reality. Now, your current energy state is creating what I like to call your dimensional reality, right? It's creating your dimensional reality. You are in a current dimension of reality that is compiled of all these different energies that you are sending out. And all these different energies that you are sending out are literally creating income blocks, okay, or income ceilings, relationship patterns, right? Career and visibility caps, or, whatever it is, all the good, all the quote, not so good. Okay. Now, where do your thoughts come into this? Now, if you are having a very good day or a very good month and you are feeling very, very positive, then what will happen is, let's say in that dimensional reality, you have the possibility of making $10,000 a month. You also have the possibility of making $3,000 a month. On a really good month, you would make $10,000 a month, correct? But that is within the confines of your dimensional reality here. Does that make sense? Okay, because people are like, well, then how do I jump to like $100,000 months or $1 million months or whatever it is? What would actually have to happen would be something that goes beyond your mind. And a lot of successful people do this and they don't even realize that they're doing this, okay? What you would actually need to do is literally shift the dimensional reality that you exist or you are creating within. Okay, created within that you are creating. Okay? And the only way to go from this dimensional reality, all these unconscious energy patterns, blocks, or whatever, okay, to this dimensional reality that's higher, okay, so maybe in this dimensional reality, your income is between $10,000 a month to $50,000 a month, right? In order to go from here to here, what needs to happen? You need to literally change the makeup of your dimensional reality or those unconscious energies that you are holding in your field. Does this make sense? Okay. So what would you need to do in order for that to happen? You would then need to release a lot of your unconscious energy blocks or patterns that are in your field. Now, the other thing that I want to say as well that you really need to understand is this is not you turning into a different person that you don't know and you're like a robot and it's like you just switch and you're like, oh, I'm someone else. It's not that. Okay, it's actually a process of you just remembering who the heck you are, who the heck you always have been. But you have forgotten because of childhood trauma, because you've inherited all these patterns from your lineage and from your parents, from conditioning of society, from brainwashing, even, yes, by the media and so on and so forth, from the past life connections that are like, connecting you through space and time to these different past lives or alternate lives, right? There's like, basically I see it's like a web. It like connects you like a web to these different alternate lives. And then it kind of like transmits like the patterns from those lives or like kind of like the energy imprint, right? From those different lives, if that makes sense, right? So you would need to release a lot of those ties in order for you to be free enough to go to a different dimensional reality. But really it's just a higher dimensional reality of you. It's really just you unlocking your original potential without all the gunk and mess that's keeping you down here. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's really, really important for you to understand that I am the creator of all of this. So literally, it never, ever helps when you go into projection and blame at anything or anyone. Like, yes, of course, there are things that happen to us. We're like, oh my God, you did that to me. It never helps. Because what's happening is you're literally bypassing a lesson from the universe, from your higher self, right? Any sort of trigger, it's literally just presenting you a lesson, right? If not everyone would get triggered by something that happens, then it's a specific lesson for you. Does that make sense? My eyes are dry, so I'm just gonna put some eye drops in. Good to go, okay? Does that make sense? So that's one big thing. Never play the victim. It will literally sink you deeper into your current timeline, your current reality. Okay, it's basically saying, oh, I'm powerless and that was happening to me, instead of, oh, the universe was giving me an opportunity to look at an energy that I'm holding that attracted that thing into my reality. So let's say, right, you attract a toxic relationship. You're like, oh my God, universe, why are you doing this to me? Instead, be like, oh, that's really interesting that I keep on attracting this toxic relationship. And I've attracted it quite a lot and I keep on attracting it. And the more that you just go into, and look, this might be a little triggering. The more you just go into blame and like, projecting hate onto that person or whatever, which, okay, whatever. But then the less you actually take accountability for yourself in creating that, in manifesting that unconsciously, the more you become disempowered, the more you actually stay on your current timeline. Does this make sense? This is a really hard lesson for people, okay? Very hard lesson for me. Like for 10 plus years, right? Like nothing was working for me. And I was like, why are you doing this to me, universe? And I was literally blaming everyone under the sun. You're horrible, you're not, right? And I was just basically being the victim. That is literally the one-way ticket to not changing your life, okay? Straight up. Okay, so you have to release these unconscious energy blocks, right? Where do these unconscious energy blocks come from? So when I work with people, a lot of the times, especially in the beginning when I work with people, it's very, very common for me to see them come from their parents, okay, or their lineage. Like I will literally read someone and be like, okay, you have your mom's control patterns. You have inherited your mom's worry patterns and anxiety patterns, and it is literally an identity in you. This is what I call like the split identity, where, going a little bit too deep, but like where I will literally see like 3 different identities in someone, right? So if you're kind of someone who like, oh my God, you kind of feel like you're I don't know, 5 different people or 3 different people on a given day or whatever, right? You go into one mode and then another mode and then another mode. It's actually not even just your personality. You could literally be going between different identities that you are literally energetically holding on to. One from your mom, one from your grandma, right? One from the 8-year-old version of you. Okay. So I see that a lot. So something for you to really just like think about is, are there unconscious energies that you have inherited from your parents? Like if you think a lot like a parent, or if you tend to look a lot like a parent. I'm not even saying physical traits, but if you're like, whoa, you really remind me of like your dad or your mom or whatever it is. Oh my God, guarantee you have a lot of their patterns, even if you act very differently from them. Because like you can act very differently, let's say from a parent that you're like, no, I never want to be like that parent. And what ends up happening is you actually just become like them. You just like have different views, right? So the way that would happen is like, no, my parent is like super conservative and I hate it. And they're so rigid about it. And they're so closed-minded. And then what happened, you're like, I never want to be like them. And what happens is you become, let's say, really, really liberal, but then you are just as closed-minded, being very, very liberal, right? And just as staunchly like rigid in your views about things. Does that make sense? It's the same pattern. It just looks different superficially. Okay. This all gets, I mean, I like talking about this stuff. I hope you guys like listening to it. If you do, please hit that like button. Okay. Like help out the channel, help a woman out. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah. Another really cool thing that came in, this is a really, really cool thing, okay, is the people who are, let's say, making a lot more money than you. So let's say me, right? Like, let's say I happen to, or you make more money than me. Let's say I happen to make more money than you. It's not because I am somehow more brilliant than you, or educated than you, or I've studied quantum shifting more than you. It has nothing to do with that, right? So then you're like, okay, well then what is it? Like what happens? Like if you think about some of these really great people, you know, whether you like them or not, it doesn't really matter, but like Elon Musk, you know, who else is great? Why am I blanking on people who are great? People who are just really, really good at what they do. And you're like, how the heck are they so genius? So let me tell you this, you are genius too. We are all genius, okay? The people where you're like, I could never learn as much as they do. They have so much knowledge. How do they have so much knowledge? I will never be able to catch up to their level of knowledge, right? I am telling you, 3 years ago, I didn't even have intuition. And now I can read people like I've always been doing it, okay? Because it's actually about this that I'm going to tell you. When you clear, so when you release the energetic blocks, those unconscious blocks that are keeping you to a lower paradigm, a lower dimensional reality, a lower spectrum of possibilities, okay? Your literally your system is more plugged up, right? It's like a river that has a whole bunch of rocks and sticks and crap in it, right? The river can't really flow as efficiently with all that crap in it, right? The flow of water, the power of the water is going to be impacted, correct? So actually, when you shift into another dimensional reality, or rather, and also you clear those blocks, you clear that internal resistance in your energetic field, what happens is the channel of your genius, okay, the channel of energy, the flow of the universe that flows through you, you know, the universal flow that flows through you because you are a fractal of source, you are literally just a channel of source, okay, that channel is clearer. This is where you actually are able to find and tune into and get the inspired ideas, all the stuff, intuition, okay, that you, like all the things can actually channel through you properly. How did I become so incredibly proficient, like literally so incredibly proficient at something I never freaking studied, right? It doesn't really make logical sense. It's because I cleared the channel and it was just already there. So for a lot of you guys, if you cleared your channel, you would probably be reading people's energies and you'd probably have all sorts of intuitive abilities, right? That you just don't know you have yet. And what's really cool, so you think about these people who like lead empires, you think about these people like Elon Musk or whatever it is, They're simply channels, right? It's not that they read a million more books. They're simply more tapped into their potential. Does that make sense? Okay. So your potential, if you cleared your channel, you could be as brilliant as Lady Gaga, let's say, or as brilliant as Ed Sheeran, let's say, if you cleared your creative channel. Or you could be an amazing author. You could be an amazing speaker. You could be an amazing coach. You could be an amazing business owner. You could literally be able to invest in the stock market and make millions like Warren, right? Do you see what I'm saying? If you cleared specific channels to your wealthiest, most genius self, it's actually the things that you thought that you couldn't do because you were physically unable to do it. This is what's so cool. Because you think you're physically or mentally unable to do it, all of a sudden you become a clear channel and it's just like feels natural. It literally feels like, oh my God. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Like that business idea makes so much sense. Why didn't I think about, like it's so obvious. Why didn't I think about that sooner? Why didn't I just execute on it? Boom. Do you see what I'm saying? Right now, you might have all the second guessing and all the doubt and all the, I don't know. I don't feel anything. I'm not sure if it's right. It doesn't feel resonant with me. I don't feel passionate about it. And that's only because you are not at the right frequency to capitalize on the opportunity. Does that make sense? This is it's such an important lesson, but really to me, it's like so fascinating. This is why quantum shifting is so possible. This is why literally 1 month you could be like, I have no freaking clue. Like, I don't really know and all that stuff. But if you clear your channel enough, in a year, you could be making $1 million. And you're like, whoa, where did these gifts, where are these talents, where does this knowledge, where does this information, where does all the amazing things come from? I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I had the resilience to do that. I didn't know I had the motivation. I didn't know I had the genius. I didn't know I had the charisma. I didn't know I had these abilities. I'm literally telling you, it's the craziest thing. It literally impacts your physical like your physical abilities even. That's what I find the most like cool, actually, to be honest, because it's like, wow, it really is about your frequency. It really is about what dimensional reality are you plugged into, right? You could be plugged into dimensional reality where you're like this famous singer. You can be plugged into a dimensional reality, you know what I mean? When you're like a techie or whatever, you know? And then all of a sudden you'd be channeling like certain gifts and things in that dimensional reality. So anyway, I just think that is so freaking cool. But that is one of the most important things actually for you to understand, that if you're like, well, I don't know anything, I'm not good at anything or whatever, like, sure, you have to learn some things physically, but if you cleared your channels, it would be so much easier for you to learn those things. I don't know if you can hear my Kika drinking her water. Like, I'll show you. She is so freaking cute. She is a cutie. Okay. Anyway, Quantum October was freaking amazing, beautiful. If you were in Quantum October, shout out to you. Leave a comment. Let me know how it changed your life, how it changed you. If you loved it, if you want to come back for more, if you want more challenges like that. It was so freaking cool. And I definitely made a lot of shifts in myself as well during the channel challenge. It was really, really good. Channel. That's what we were talking about. But the last point to all this is that if you really want to quantum shift, you got to break the safety glass. Okay. So what do I mean by that? You have to be willing to do things that the you right now would never do. Literally would never do. You'd be like, no, that's not me. So anything that you're like, that's not me, I wouldn't do something like that. Go fucking do it. Sorry, didn't mean to swear. Go do it. You got to be willing to break the safety glass, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to be willing to break who you think you are. And you can confirm that on a physical level as well. Okay. So while you're releasing these unconscious blocks and everything like that, you can confirm the change by doing something radically different than you normally would. And so I know you guys are asking, well, how do I release these unconscious blocks? You can go into really deep states of meditation and like go into like really deep states of meditation and go to higher states of consciousness, right? You can also do my frequency clearings, which is do that like on acceleration. So we had 4 frequency clearings in Quantum October that were super powerful. And basically they immediately just take you to those higher states of consciousness, right? That's just what they're designed to do. So even when I listen to the frequency clearings, it actually helps me go to those higher states of consciousness as well, because it's not just about going to high states of consciousness. It's about like integrating it into your system. So you can listen to them over again so that you can actually start to stay at those higher levels of consciousness, right? And in order to stay at those higher levels of consciousness, what has to happen? You need to release your unconscious blocks, right? And so as you listen, you might go through some detox because you're releasing these unconscious blocks that are in your field, preventing you from staying at those higher levels of consciousness. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So anyway, I just wanted to sum up the Hall of Quantum October. So freaking amazing. It was so fun. Yeah, so amazing. So those of you who participated, thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of the whole experience. Freaking loved it. Love you guys. Yeah, that is, I think, yeah, part 1 of the masterclass on quantum shifting and like what it actually means to quantum shift, not just with thinking different thoughts, because that will only get you so far. Okay. Like it will get you far if you're already plugged into the right dimensional reality. So a lot of highly successful people, they're already plugged into the right dimensional reality. Let's say when it comes to success, when it comes to money for various different reasons, right? Or maybe they had something horrible happen to them. So they were literally given a chance to completely rewrite their system. There are a lot of different mechanics behind quantum shifting and how people can get there and everything like that. But you don't have to go into devastation in order to quantum shift, right? You just have to be willing to break your current reality. And then you have to go to those higher levels of consciousness and frequency and continue on that path, right? And stay open to the possibilities from the universe. All right, guys, that's it for now. Have an amazing rest of your days, evenings, mornings, whatever, wherever you're from. And I will see you all later. Oh, make sure to hit that like button, of course. Yeah, if you haven't already done that, like, why haven't you? And like subscribe too. Okay, bye.